Last weekend, we were back in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We visited Jockey's Ridge State Park for the Outer Banks Kite Festival, which we will share with you in a moment. But first, let's talk about Jockey's Ridge. This state park is located in the popular resort town of Nags Head, located on the string of barrier islands known as the Outer Banks. Before we head out to the dunes, we are going to stop in at the visitor center and show you around. Jockey's Ridge is best known for its sand dunes. In fact, Jockey's Ridge is the tallest active sand dune system in the eastern United States. The area is known for its strong winds and tall sand dunes, which is why kite flying on the dunes is a popular activity year-round at this park. That is, of course, also why the Wright brothers chose this area to test their gliders in preparation for their first flight in their newly invented airplane. And those conditions are also why hang gliding is a popular activity at Jockey's Ridge as well. Local business, Kitty Hawk Kites, actually operates a hang gliding school here where you can get out on the dunes and learn to hang glide. It is impossible to say how tall the dunes are, because this is an active dune system, meaning winds are constantly blowing the sand about, causing dunes to grow and shift and change. Parts of the surrounding landscape have been swallowed up by the dunes, including a mini golf course that was taken over by the sand decades ago. This castle sticking up through the sand was part of the mini golf course's theming. Another interesting note is that North Carolina has a walking trail that goes all the way across the state, starting in the Great Smoky Mountains, and its eastern endpoint is 1,175 miles east, right here at Jockey's Ridge. The Kite Festival was one of 3 we saw advertised for Jockey's Ridge over the last few months. It was the first one we were able to attend, and it was really cool. It was a mixture of experienced stunt kite enthusiasts and just regular families who bought a kite on their way to the park and gave kite flying a try for their first time. Some kites were tied down to the ground and just bobbed along the sand dunes. Stunt kite flyers were showing people how to do tricks with kites. And there were some massive display kites in the air, the largest of which was this orange and pink fish, which was 50 feet long. There were some even bigger kites that were advertised to fly at the festival, such as a 100-foot-long octopus and an 80-foot panda. But they announced the weather conditions were not right to fly those massive kites. I'm not sure if it was too windy or not windy enough to fly them, but either way, we had to settle for the 50-foot kite along with some that were 20 or 30 feet in length. They also held a speedy sprout sprint, where little kids got to race to see who could get their kite the highest. The top 3 won a prize. Enjoy this kite footage, and then I will let you know some more info about this event in closing. And while you watch, do me a favor and click the thumbs up button to help the channel grow. The Outer Banks Kite Festival was held over a Friday and Saturday the second weekend in September 2025. They had kite flying lessons and even some employees from Kitty Hawk Kites on hand to informally help beginners learn how to get their kites in the air. This event is free to attend. In fact, Jockey's Ridge State Park is free to visit, and parking is free as well. We don't really have much kite flying experience, but we still had a lot of fun seeing the kites in the air. One thing to consider is that walking through all the sand to get to the dunes and then climbing up the sand dunes can be strenuous work if you aren't used to it. Make sure you're wearing the right shoes for such a task. Click the links at the end of this video to check out some of our other favorite things to do in the Outer Banks. And be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so we can see you the next time we're traveling through.